India is a great place to do business, man. We're 1.6 billion people, right?
Yeah.
If you have a product that can cater to these 1.6 billion people,
Yeah.
it's insane. And majority of our population is the younger generation, which is very exciting.
If you could share a little bit about the challenges that you faced while growing up as an entrepreneur. Some challenges that you may have felt that okay, this can be a bottleneck while I'm growing my business.
One is compliance is not so seamless in India. We used to import mainly and contract manufacture from China, but we also have local suppliers. वो supplier ने GST नहीं भरा है, तो I take the hit on it, right? Even after doing everything legally, you are supposed to bribe people in the customs department. Why the hell should I bribe someone if मैं सब कुछ legally कर रहा हूँ यार? But I'm forced to bribe people so that my consignment is released. Sucks.
So the main cost of a service agency would be its people. So how are you managing that? How are you managing the margins and how exactly is your strategy?
I've built an operating system for our business and we are harnessing the hell out of AI and AI agents to reduce that repetitive work, templatize as many things as we can in the organization to scale it from there. So we're very strong on processes. I would say 80% of my tasks are automated with AI. So the human being is still needed to strategize.
So in the service industry, of course, another big issue that comes is getting in clients and building that trust. How do you build that trust or value that you can provide to the client without any proof of concept at this?
I started cold emailing all of them. Once I got any reply from them, I should send them a video. Heartfelt, दिल से video बोल रहा था कि boss, I'm starting up right now. I don't have any expertise in your particular field, but I am a champion at lead gen in my previous companies. I would like to do a 1 month free service for you. You don't pay me a penny. And if I get you results, month 2 onwards, I will charge you. Month 1 will be free.
If we talk about the agency economics, the main, since you are in a service industry, of course, service agency, so the main cost of a service agency would be its people. So how are you managing that? How are you managing the margins and how exactly is your strategy? If you could share a little bit about it.
Sure. I'm a big believer of systems processes. So I've built an operating system for our business where one is the acquisition OS. How do you acquire customers, right? Once the customer is signed up, how do you fulfill them?
Yes.
We mapped down each and every possibility of how to acquire customers and what to do in what decision.
Yeah.
And how to fulfill the customer once they've signed it. So now what we've done is we have figured that from each of those touch points, which all touch points can be automated, eliminated or delegated.
Okay.
And we are harnessing the hell out of AI and AI agents to reduce that repetitive work, templatize as many things as we can in the organization to scale it from there. So we're very strong on processes. And I would say 80% of my tasks are automated with AI. So the human being is still needed to strategize.
Yeah.
But apart from that, AI is doing everything. Wow. I have my own Jarvis, which gives me like a daily update on WhatsApp. These are the meetings, these are the people I'm having meetings with, research about all of them. It kind of takes over my whole life and helps me end to end.
Wow, that is very interesting to know, So in the service industry, of course, another big issue that comes is, getting in clients and building that trust. So since you've been working for hundreds of clients at this point, how did you actually, this is a continuation to the conversation we were having before the podcast as well. How did you get, your first 10 clients? What could be your roadmap for budding founders who are just beginning now? And how do you build that trust or value that you can provide to the client without any proof of concept at this?
Absolutely. So when we started lead gen, again, as I told you, I've always been a fan of cold emailing.
Yes.
So I identified 10 businesses where I could add value.
Okay.
I started cold emailing all of them. Once I got any reply from them, I should send them a video. Heartfelt, दिल से video बोल रहा था कि boss, I'm starting up right now. I don't have any expertise in your particular field.
Okay.
But I am a champion at lead gen in my previous companies.
Okay.
I would like to do a 1 month free service for you. You don't pay me a penny.
Okay.
And if I get you results, month 2 onwards, I will charge you. Month 1 will be free. And because I was very confident about cold emailing and cold outreach, I was able to get that client a lot of value.
Yeah.
Right. And then that was the starting point for us. And I think how we acquire customers is I send a lot of Loom videos to people, right? About me with my face, with my automation showing out there. And a lot of people from my company, my sales teams also do that. And I think those video is a very powerful tool today to reach people in the right way, show your emotions, show genuinely what you're trying to do and how you can build it.
Yeah.
Right, so freemium is a model we also have. So I wouldn't call ourselves an agency at all. We're a tech company.
Okay.
We have our own product which is into lead generation, and we have managed services to help people use our product better.
Okay.
Right, so we completely work as a tech company end to end. We have a chief of product, we have a CTO. It's not so much of an agency anymore. When we started, it was an agency where we used to only service clients. Now we have our own product and we have the service model as well.
Right.
Right.
And you've also built Blipper, which is another product that you have. We would love to understand a little bit about it as well. What does it do and how what impact it is putting on people and the world in general.
Absolutely. So I run this other company, as you mentioned, called Blipper. At Blipper, we're a B2B SaaS tool. Our focus is simple: suicide prevention. Okay. We want to prevent suicides from happening. Now, how we do this? Now, any company outsources their calls to a call center, or they have their internal call center.
Yes.
This call center has many agents, human beings making calls. Now, in any call center, only 1% of calls are manually audited by a human being, which is a QA QC person.
Yeah.
जो call सुनता है बोलता है how many people messed up, how many people had no enthusiasm, blah 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 blah. So one of my clients at Flintstop reached out to me that, Tejas, I need your help. I know, understand you're good with tech and automation. We have a use case. We have a 40-member call center. We have a QA QC team which is manually auditing calls. Can AI help us out? Was the question they asked.
Okay.
And after thinking about it, I realized that yes, AI can help this out. So basically what Blipper does is it listens to calls between enterprises and their customers. And if, let's say you're a Barclays is one of our clients, right? Barclays gives loans to people. People can't pay back those loans for whatever reason. It's unfortunate. So Barclays is going to call them and do Vasuli, collections team. Now, at that point of Vasuli, it's very important that Barclays should not be harsh with that customer.
Yeah.
पहले क्या होता था? 1% of calls are manually audited by AI. Sorry, 1% of calls are manually audited by human beings. So we came in and we said, can 100% of the calls be listened by AI? The answer is yes. At what accuracy? At around 93%, which is accurate enough.
Yeah.
So what we realized, what our tool does now is we listen to all the calls of Barclays and we tell Barclays that, boss, you have 5,000 people making calls. These many agents or human beings lack empathy. These many agents lack enthusiasm. These many agents are not probing properly. These many agents are not introducing the company properly. These many customers are showing anxiety. These many customers are showing vulnerability. Okay. How we detect that is basis choice of words, frequency of talking, tonality, which then we make an assumption of how many words per minute they have, which tells us what their breathing rate is.
Okay.
To then figure out, we've co-built it with IIT Kharagpur, the algorithm.
Okay.
So to detect anxiety, vulnerability to prevent suicide. So we're working in the emergency services sector, which is hospitals, ambulance, police department, fire department. We're in fact doing a pilot with the US government where we're listening to calls of the 911.
Okay.
Where we want to figure out that the person who's receiving the call from the 911, from the police team and the call center, are they empathetic enough to the people calling? Are they showing the right empathy? Are they using the right choice of words to revert back to people? And then we're also doing some predictive analysis that, is this person on gunpoint? Is there a domestic violence case happening at home and they're calling, in a very secretive way where the person can't hear? So our goal is to save lives, clear.
Okay. And so the clients that you have mentioned, rather,
at which company?
Of Blipper, basically.
Sure, yeah.
So Barclays you mentioned, then now you're also doing a pilot with the US police. So there are a lot of cases that are coming up in India as well. For example, there are some banks that do these Vasuli services, and then these videos go viral. Do you think India might be a target market in the future?
100%.
Or how exactly are you planning to approach India at this moment?
So server costs are very high. Now, one is, this can happen into what we do can be a two-way thing, right? One is the post-call QC, which means आपका call खत्म हो गया. At the end of the day, I get all the call recordings, I analyze, and I give you feedback that these many agents are behaving in so manner.
Yeah.
The second bit is real-time intervention. अगर मैं आपके साथ कॉल कर रहा हूँ, मेरे को real time screen पे बोलेगा, Tejas, you're talking too quickly, slow down. Tejas, show empathy to Sourabh. Say these 3 things to be empathetic. Now this real-time bit, right, is super expensive on the server cost.
Okay.
Right? We tried to solve for India, but the pricing didn't work out for us in terms of economies. Which is when we tried the West, and the West is more than happy to pay that price for real-time intervention. Our plan for India is, once infrastructure cost gets cheaper,
okay,
with the number of server farms coming in India, and with the harnessing power of AI today, it is going to get cheaper over the years, right? As we know, pen drive जो पहले जो इतना महंगा था, अभी इतना
Right.
सस्ता हो गया है.
Correct.
Over the years, technology cost is going to go down, and I think that will be the right time for us to enter Indian markets. Because I'm a big believer of profitability. अगर profit नहीं हो रहा तो धंधे का point क्या है?
Correct.
Right? So
as we mentioned, India is slowly going up the ranks in the ease of doing business, right? So, do you, if you could share a little bit about the challenges that you faced while growing up as an entrepreneur, some challenges that, you may have felt, okay, this can be a bottleneck while I'm growing my business.
yeah, lots of them in fact, right? I think one is compliance is not so seamless in India.
Okay.
Right? Where at Flintstop we used to import mainly and contract manufacture from China, but we also had local suppliers. We वो supplier ने GST नहीं भरा है, तो I take the hit on it, right? Even after doing everything legally, you are supposed to bribe people in the customs department. Why the hell should I bribe someone if मैं सब कुछ legally कर रहा हूँ यार?
Right.
But I'm forced to bribe people so that my consignment is released. It sucks. I hope things change, and the future is looking bright, and things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
But now other challenges, like when you want to work with a large company like a Sun Pharma, you have to be empaneled vendor. Yeah. How do you become an empaneled vendor? And there's a process for it. If you're starting up, you can't be empaneled from day zero.
Correct.
So then we realized, let's do a channel partner route. Let's supply to other gifters who are supplying to Sun Pharma, let's say, to get an entry into them.
Right.
And then eventually get empaneled and kind of registered over time. Apart from that, I think India is a great place to do business, man. We're 1.6 billion people, right?
The world is coming to India.
And the world is coming to India. And if you have a product that can cater to these 1.6 billion people, it's insane. And majority of our population is the younger generation, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
The future is insane. And we are a large population in the world. So there's lots of amazing things coming out of India.